Well, it's been another busy week on the Labour front, what with the National Union of Metal Workers staging its international symposium on socialism, although we haven't seen much about it, and I certainly haven't, but it seems to have been quite an involved talk shop involving people from political parties and movements from 17 different countries. Then, of course, we've also had the Farlam Commission with trade unionists protesting about Cyril Ramaphosa. And then there are the scandals of the millions of rand that are missing in the Municipal Workers Union, and the SADTU scandal goes on. The steel and engineering impasse continues. And of course, to this Labour wrap and my Inside Labour column, the usual stream of criticisms, many of them actually bringing up questions regarding the Commission for Conciliation, Mediation and Arbitration, the CCMA. And there are a number of points to be made here. I have actually gone through one of those processes last week, and the award was made this week, so I'll deal with that next week. There'll be more to do with that. In fact, I'll concentrate on how this aspect of the Labour Relations Act actually works. But at the moment, it is still Women's Month. And I have had, thank goodness, some responses, just a few, from women. And interestingly enough, and it's quite interesting that it emerges at this stage, the oldest profession, what is still referred to as the oldest profession, has surfaced. It was brought forward first by the non-governmental organisation Embrace Dignity, which is headed by a woman who was formerly a minister in the government. And next Wednesday they're going to stage a seminar in Cape Town to discuss what should be done about what is really, let's get down to it, prostitution. It's a major problem. The authoritative Economist magazine in Britain, for example, this week has produced a huge feature on a survey of 12 countries of what is actually happening, how the internet has intervened, and how this, call it a trade, call it a profession, call it exploitation, whatever, is actually growing. Now, what will be debated next Wednesday, and will continue to be debated here, are the differences of opinion. You have, on the one hand, those who support decriminalization, and that includes the majority of the trade union movement, who say this activity should be decriminalized. Then you have those, primarily religious groups, who say maintain criminalization, but increase enforcement and stiffer penalties. Embrace Dignity, on the other hand, has a third way, the Nordic approach, which says that those who sell sexual favors should be legal, but those who buy them are illegal. This is a sort of feminist approach which tends to see this in gender terms as men always being the buyers and women the exploited sellers. But in fact, as most surveys show, 20%, 2 in every 10 sex workers, sex activists, whatever you want to call them, happen to be men. So it does create a bit of a problem. I think, however, we should understand that this is something that has occurred over the centuries. We're dealing with it now at a time of straitened economic circumstances where we're seeing more and more women, particularly, but also men, going into this business, trade, call it what you will. So what works? What do we want? Do we want it criminalized, decriminalized, or whatever else? It's over to you. I'm sure that every single one of you must have an opinion on this. And so what you could do is let us know at editor@fin24.com. That's how you let us know. I'm going to concentrate on this aspect in my column, Inside Labour column, on this platform this week. You'll be able to read it tomorrow. And in print at City Press in the business section on Sunday. But I want to hear from you because this is an important matter. In Cape Town in particular, there have been complaints about certain suburbs being inundated by streetwalkers. In other areas, you've had complaints about advertisements in newspapers, magazines, etc. So let's hear what you have to say. This is very much a labour matter. Should trade unions unionize? Governments, of course, often want to decriminalize because it not only reduces the rate of unemployment, it also creates a new income tax base. Well, over to you. And for me, this week, that's all.